Welcome to the deep dive, everybody. And today, we're tackling some really big questions. You know, the kind that have been puzzling philosophers, scientists, like for centuries.
Yeah.
The mysteries.
Yeah.
The ones that keep you up at night.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that might not even have answers, but grappling with them.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what makes us human, right?
Absolutely. I mean, these are the questions that, they drive our curiosity.
Right.
And they push us to the very, very limits of our understanding.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even about finding the answers. It's more about the journey.
Yeah, the journey of exploring these questions.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. So we've got 5 of these big, kind of impossible questions lined up for you today. Get ready to ponder.
Right.
What came before the Big Bang?
Mm-hmm.
What happens after we die?
Ooh.
Are we alone in the universe?
Good questions.
Is time just an illusion?
Wow.
And finally, that age-old question, what is consciousness? What is it?
Each one of these questions, probes at the nature of existence itself.
Yeah.
And while definitive answers may remain elusive, the exploration can lead to some really, really profound insights about ourselves and the universe we inhabit.
For sure. Okay, let's just dive right in. First up, we've got the granddaddy of all mysteries.
Okay.
What came before the Big Bang?
Oh, yeah.
So we all know the universe started somewhere, right?
What?
But what was there before the beginning?
It's a question that that challenges our very notion of time.
Right.
Most cosmologists agree that the Big Bang marks the beginning of space-time,
Okay.
as we know it, but that just begs the question, what was there before space-time?
So are you saying that there was no before?
Right.
That time literally started with the Big Bang?
Well,
Doesn't that seem kind of arbitrary?
It does, doesn't it? And that's why some physicists, they propose models like the cyclical universe. Imagine a universe expanding to a point where it just starts contracting.
Okay.
And it collapses back in on itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bang, another Big Bang kicks off a new cycle.
Wait. So you're saying that our universe could just be one in an infinite chain of universes?
Yeah.
Each collapsing and then birthing a new one?
Yeah.
That's a lot to process.
It is. And think about the implications for time.
Right.
If this is true, then time isn't linear. It's cyclical. It has no beginning, no end. Just this endless series of expansions and contractions.
Wow. That's definitely a mind bender. It makes you question everything we think we know about the universe.
It really does. And it shows how even the most fundamental concepts, like time, can be challenged and reimagined when we really delve into these, impossible questions.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of beginnings and endings, it makes you wonder what happens at the end of our own individual journeys.
Oh, yeah.
So next up, we're tackling the ultimate mystery. What happens after we die?
Mm-hmm.
It's a question that, everyone asks at some point.
Right, absolutely. It's a question that's driven religious beliefs, philosophical inquiries, and just countless late-night conversations.
Right.
For millennia.
Yeah.
And while there's no shortage of theories and beliefs, concrete evidence remains very elusive.
Well, what are we left with? Is it just lights out, game over?
Whoa.
Or is there some form of continuation?
Right.
Reincarnation and afterlife, something we can't even comprehend?
That's the crux of the mystery, isn't it? We have these deep-seated intuitions.
Right.
About the permanence of consciousness, the idea that something of us must persist beyond the physical body.
Right, because it's hard to just accept that all of our thoughts, our experiences, everything that makes us, just vanishes into thin air.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And that's really why this question resonates so deeply.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront our own mortality and grapple with the unknown. Right.
But even without definitive answers, I think the exploration itself can be incredibly valuable.
Right.
It can help us clarify our own beliefs about life, death, and the nature of consciousness.
I completely agree. It's about the journey, not necessarily the destination.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and tackle a question that's truly, cosmic in scope.
Okay, let's do it.
Are we alone in the universe?
One of my favorites. This question always sparks the imagination, doesn't it?
For sure, for sure. I mean, think about it. Billions of galaxies.
Right.
Trillions of stars.
Mm-hmm.
Countless planets. It seems statistically impossible that we're the only intelligent life out there.
It does, doesn't it? And yet, we haven't found any conclusive evidence of extraterrestrial life.
Right.
And that's That's where the Fermi paradox comes in.
Okay, refresh my memory on that one. What exactly is the Fermi paradox?
Basically, it asks if extraterrestrial civilizations are so likely, why haven't we encountered any evidence? Where is everyone?
You'd think with all that supposed life out there, someone would have sent us at least a hello by now.
Right, exactly. So are we just not looking hard enough?
Well,
Or are there other explanations for this cosmic silence?
there are several schools of thought on this.
Okay.
Some scientists argue that we might be looking for the wrong kinds of signals,
Right.
or that we simply haven't been looking long enough.
Okay.
Others propose that there might be some kind of great filter
Okay.
that prevents civilizations from reaching a certain level of, technological advancement or
Right.
from surviving long enough to make contact.
So what you're saying is there might be a whole bunch of civilizations out there,
Mm-hmm.
but they either haven't figured out interstellar communication yet, or they've already wiped themselves out.
It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But it really highlights the challenges of understanding the vastness of the universe
Right.
and the potential trajectories of intelligent life.
Definitely gives you a new perspective on things.
Right.
Okay, ready for another mind bender?
Hit me.
Let's talk about time.
Oh, okay.
What if it's all just an illusion?
No, that's a concept that's intrigued physicists and philosophers for centuries. It challenges our everyday experience of time as a linear progression from past to present to future.
I mean, we're all slaves to our clocks and calendars, but what if time isn't really what we think it is?
Right.
What if it's all a big cosmic trick?
Some theories propose that time isn't an absolute unchanging entity.
Okay.
It could be a dimension like space, where all moments in time exist simultaneously.
Wait, so you're saying the past, the present, and the future aren't separate? They all exist at the same time?
It's a
Is it like a giant movie reel where all the scenes already exist?
it's a mind-boggling concept, right? And it raises all sorts of fascinating questions about free will, determinism, and just the nature of reality itself.
Okay, I need a minute to wrap my head around that.
Sure.
But it makes you wonder, if this is true, what are the implications for how we understand our own lives and our experiences?
That's the beauty of these impossible questions.
Right. They force us to challenge our assumptions
Yeah.
and explore alternative ways of perceiving reality.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Okay, one last big question to tackle, and this one's a doozy.
All right.
What is consciousness?
Ah, the mystery of consciousness.
Right.
It's something we all experience, yet it remains one of the most challenging concepts to define or explain.
Right, because it's so fundamental to our existence.
It is.
You know, we think, we feel, we experience the world around us.
Mm-hmm.
But what exactly is this thing that makes us aware? Is it just our brains at work? Or is there something more to it?
Pinpointing the nature of consciousness is one of the biggest challenges in science and philosophy.
Dad.
Is it purely a product of the complex interactions of neurons in our brains?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there something more fundamental at play, something that transcends the physical realm?
So we've got the purely biological explanation,
Right.
which makes sense in a way, but it also feels limiting. It does, and that's why some theories suggest that consciousness might be a fundamental property of the universe, like gravity
Okay.
or electromagnetism. Maybe our brains aren't the source of consciousness,
Uh-huh.
but rather receivers or transmitters of this universal consciousness.
So, like, we're all tapping into this vast cosmic consciousness that exists everywhere? That's a pretty wild thought.
It is, and it really highlights the incredibly complex and multifaceted nature of consciousness. We may never have a definitive answer,
Yeah.
but the pursuit of understanding is what truly matters.
Right.
Yeah, it really is. You know, and even if we never fully crack the code of consciousness, exploring the possibilities,
Yeah.
it really expands our understanding of who we are
Right.
and how we fit into this vast universe.
I love that. And, as we've been talking about these, impossible questions, I've noticed something kind of interesting. It seems like many of them touch on the idea of cycles.
Oh, that's a keen observation.
Right.
Where you see this cyclical theme popping up?
Well, we talked about, the cyclical universe model
Right.
with its endless chain of, expanding and contracting universes.
Right, where the end of one universe becomes the seed for the next, challenging our linear view of time.
Exactly. And then there's the question of what happens after death. Reincarnation,
Mm.
which is a central belief in many cultures. Suggests that consciousness might not just end.
Yeah.
but just be reborn into new forms.
Right.
It's like a cosmic recycling program for souls.
Indeed, the idea of reincarnation has fascinated people for ages.
Right.
It speaks to a deep human longing for continuity, a sense that the essence of who we are might transcend the physical limits of a single lifetime.
Right, exactly. And even when we talk about consciousness itself, some theories propose that it could be a fundamental property of the universe, flowing through different forms of life.
Like a universal current connecting everything.
Exactly. It's as if there's this underlying rhythm to existence, a grand cosmic dance of creation, destruction, and renewal, playing out on all scales from, the tiniest subatomic particles to the vast expanse of the universe.
It's a beautiful way to think about it. And, this idea of cycles isn't just theoretical.
Right.
We see it all around us in nature.
Oh, absolutely. The cycle of day and night, the changing seasons, the life cycles of plants and animals.
Even our own bodies, they're full of cycles. The
Yeah.
beating of our hearts, the rhythm of our breath, the constant renewal of cells.
Yeah.
It's as if cycles are just woven into the very fabric of reality.
It makes you wonder, are these cycles just random occurrences?
Right.
Or are they expressions of some deeper principle or force, governing the universe?
That's a profound question. Is there some underlying force that drives both creation and destruction, order and chaos, life and death, connecting everything in this, grand cosmic dance? It's definitely a possibility worth pondering.
It's a humbling thought. And for me, it brings a sense of connection to everything around me. I'm not just an isolated individual,
Yeah.
but I'm part of this, intricate web of cycles,
Mhm.
interconnected with everything that has ever been and everything that will ever be.
I feel that too.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we're a part of something much larger than ourselves, a story that unfolds over eons and encompasses the entirety of the universe.
Yeah. But even as we recognize our place in this, grand cosmic scheme, we still grapple with the mystery of our own individual existence,
Right.
of all these, impossible questions. Which one resonates most deeply with you?
That's a tough one. I think the question of consciousness continues to fascinate me the most.
Okay.
It's such a fundamental aspect of our being,
Yeah.
yet it remains so elusive. We
Right.
experience it every moment of our lives, but defining it, understanding its origins and nature, that's a profound challenge.
I get that. It's like we're aware of being aware.
Yeah.
But how does that even happen?
Exactly. And the
Hmm.
implications of different theories of consciousness are vast.
Right.
If consciousness is purely a product of our brains, what happens to it when we die? Does it simply cease to exist?
But if consciousness is something more fundamental, something that exists independently of our physical bodies, could it continue in some form even after death?
It opens up a realm of possibilities
Yeah.
and raises questions about the relationship between mind and matter, the nature of reality, and the very essence of what it means to be human.
Yeah, it's like opening a door to an infinite hallway of more doors.
It is.
Every answer seems to lead to more questions.
And that's what makes these impossible questions so compelling. They don't diminish our sense of wonder, they amplify it. They fuel our curiosity and drive us to seek a deeper understanding.
So how do we keep that sense of wonder alive?
Right.
How do we continue to grapple with these big questions in our everyday lives?
I think it starts with cultivating a spirit of curiosity and embracing the unknown. Don't shy away from the big questions, even if they seem daunting or unanswerable.
Because even if we don't find all the answers, the journey of exploration is what matters most.
Right. Absolutely. Engage in conversations like this one. Read books and articles. Explore different perspectives. Keep asking questions, even if they don't have easy answers.
Don't let the mystery fade. I love that.
There's a quote by Socrates that I find incredibly relevant here. The unexamined life is not worth living. These impossible questions, they invite us to examine our lives, our beliefs, and our place in the cosmos. They challenge us to think critically, to question our assumptions, and to keep searching for deeper meaning and understanding.
It's a call to awaken our inner philosopher, to look beyond the surface of things, and to embrace the mystery and wonder that surrounds us. It's about remembering that we're all part of this incredible cosmic story full of awe-inspiring possibilities.
That's beautifully said. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, but it feels like we've only just scratched the surface of these impossible questions.
I know, right? It's like we've opened a door to a whole new universe of possibilities. And And we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these questions?
Yeah.
Which one resonates the most with you and why?
Share your thoughts in the comments section, join the discussion on social media, and let's keep this conversation going.
Because the journey of exploring these impossible questions is one that, we take together.
Exactly. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those hearts open to the wonders of the universe.
It's amazing to think about how these impossible questions, they've, captivated humans for centuries.
Mm.
We've been looking up at the stars and pondering our existence and trying to make sense of it all.
It really is. It's a testament to our innate curiosity, our drive to understand the world around us and our place in it. We're a species that constantly seeks meaning and connection. Yeah. And these questions push us to the very edge of what we know.
And sometimes even beyond that edge. I mean, we've explored some pretty mind-bending concepts today.
We have.
From the possibility of multiple universes to the idea that time might be an illusion.
We've challenged our assumptions about reality and opened ourselves up to perspectives that might have seemed, outlandish.
Yeah, totally. And, as we've delved into these mysteries, I've realized that wrestling with these questions,
Mm-hmm.
even without finding, definitive answers, it can be incredibly valuable in itself.
Absolutely. It expands our thinking, it deepens our appreciation for the mystery and complexity of the universe, and it reminds us that there's always more to learn and discover.
It's like we've stretched our mental muscles and expanded our capacity for wonder.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we could all use a little more of in our lives.
I completely agree. Cultivating that sense of wonder and curiosity, it's essential. Not just for scientific discovery, but for personal growth and fulfillment as well.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into these impossible questions,
Okay.
what's the one key takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think it's this. Embrace the unknown.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask the big questions, even if they seem daunting or unanswerable. The journey of exploration, the act of grappling with these mysteries, that's what truly enriches our understanding of ourselves and the universe we inhabit.
Beautifully said. It's about acknowledging the limits of our knowledge while remaining open to the infinite possibilities that lie beyond those limits.
Exactly. Stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop asking those impossible questions. Who knows what incredible discoveries and insights await us on the other side of the unknown?
Well said. And to all of our listeners out there, keep those minds curious, those hearts open, and keep diving deep.